Now I'm going to pull myself up and out of the way just a little bit more here, because the program that I'm going to use is Smooth Draw 4. Now I'm choosing that one, it didn't come with the tablet or anything like that, but I tested out a bunch of free software programs. GIMP, Paint.net, a bunch of others, and Smooth Draw 4 was one that I found that I really, really liked and enjoyed. I'm not doing this review on that product, but I am using that product to do the review. Now, one of the things that I really, really liked with this pen was that it is pressure sensitive. If I do a regular line, I make the line darker as I go along, or I can make it lighter, all depending on how much pressure I apply to the pen on the tablet surface. Now you do need to be careful, because this is just plastic, and since it is just plastic and you're using it on a plastic surface, I would imagine if you gouge it too far, you're going to either break the pen tip or you're going to cut into the tablet surface, and that would just ruin everything. So it really does not take, and I'm not hardly pressing at all, to get a dark line. Now, one thing that some people might say is a detractor of this product is, well, it's got such a small drawing surface. I really can't show it too well here, but this drawing surface here is only limited by how large or how small you make the drawing surface on your screen. So if I have a page set up that is going to be 10 feet by 10 feet, then my drawing surface is 10 feet by 10 feet. I've just got to confine it into a smaller space on the pad. Not such a bad problem. When you use this, it is very, very quick, easy, and responsive to what you're doing. You can do just about anything you want. Okay? I will tell you that it takes a lot of eye-to-hand coordination, perhaps, to get really, really good at this. Because while I draw, I normally draw on paper with a pencil or a pen. And I can see exactly where I'm drawing without having to look up at something else while I'm moving the pencil around. I've gotten very, very used to it. I'm almost 53 years old. I'll be 53 in about a month or so. Okay, a month and a half. I've been drawing since I was 3 years old. So I've gotten well accustomed to using a paper and a pencil. This means I have to take my eyes off of the bottom and look at the top and rely solely upon what I see right there. That takes a little bit of getting used to. One thing that I do like is that if I make a mess, rather than having to get out the eraser and erase there, oh no, I just put a hole in the paper. Or now, if you happen to use a cheap eraser, you got eraser marks on your paper, and then you try to color over with a colored pencil, and the surface of the paper has been disrupted and it doesn't look quite the same, or it colors darker, or it colors lighter, or you got the color of the eraser now on your paper. With this, you don't have to worry about it. Just simply click undo and everything goes away. And you're back to whatever you started with. It's a lot easier to get a clean sheet of paper this way than it is to rip off the paper and you've just wasted money that you could have spent doing something else. This product is exciting to me. It's exciting to me because I can just, do what I want as quickly as I want, and if something comes out of it and I like it, great. If it doesn't, it's just as easy for me to get rid of. It's also exciting because I can take something that I've been working on, an idea or a project, and I can add all kinds of color to it very quickly and easily. I'm not doing a masterpiece by any means. I know that. This is certainly very, very simplistic. But with very little effort, I can add color, I can make alterations, I can change things that I'm doing, I can get effects that I couldn't get with a pen and pencil. And I can do it very quickly on the screen. I've got richer colors I can work with. I've got the ability to redo. And I can, as something I never even thought about using before, is I can add layers to something. And then I can go in here and I can, change some colors. To see, well, what if I did this? How would that look? And earlier, I used a water feature. And guess what? It doesn't affect what's underneath. It does affect what's above, but you can see my original kind of ideas below that. And I use this particular function a lot in a drawing I'm about ready to show you, and that is featured in my written review at the bottom of my written review. But if I decide, I don't like that, I can simply delete that layer and start all over with some other ideas. I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited because for me, with doing some of the work that I've done, I had a picture that I drew probably at least 20 years ago. I've drawn it over and over and over. I've tweaked it a little bit here. And the pen and pencil looks great. I'm happy with it. But when it came to adding color, I could never find a vibrant enough medium to get just what I wanted without covering up the original drawing and overdoing the lines or not quite getting what I wanted out of it. But using this graphics tablet, along with this particular program, I was able to do something that I've never been able to do before, and that is to finish something that was very near and dear to my heart. And for me, that was very exciting. Now, yes, you can see that it's much bigger than the screen, which is certainly much bigger than this tablet because my screen is a 27-inch color television set here, and this tablet is only 12 inches by what looks like 6 just off my head here. I know that it says exactly how large it is on the box. But I've got a picture that at least twice that size. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I did actually draw this picture utilizing this tablet, taking the original drawing that I came up with, using the layers to add the color into it, to blend the color together using this pen, graphics pen here. And then I used another program to add the lettering at the bottom. I have never gotten this to look the way this does. Now, no, it's not a masterpiece. It's not going to launch my art career or anything like that. But for me, this was an accomplishment that I'm very happy to see. I highly recommend that if you're a budding artist, a beginning artist, or even somebody who has been doing artwork for a very, very long time, who just wants to expand their horizons a little bit, this is a product that will allow you to do that without expending a great deal of money. You have a pen. You can work with it just like a pen. By changing some of these features at the very top here, you could certainly get a variety of different mediums that you could work with. Watercolor, brushes, graffiti, just all the things that you normally do with graphics programs. And you're still working just like you would if you were using a pen and paper. I like that. When you look at my written review, I'm going to go into more detail about the tablet itself, things that I like, things that I don't like. I'm going to go in and talk to you about the fact that I used the free art programs that I did. And at the very bottom, as I mentioned before, you're going to see kind of a progression from where I started doing the rough sketch until I got to this finished product. Pretty much step by step. I'm not going to go through and try to explain all the things that I did, all the detailed steps that I did. Just know that there's a lot of layers, a lot of color blending, a lot of time and effort. And when I came across something I didn't like, with the results, like getting this color for the wings, I did a couple of different layers, and then I just filled in a color on one of the other layers and said, oh, I like how that turned out for the whole thing. There's a lot of steps that you can do here and do so much easier than you can using a pen and paper, that it just makes sense to start using something like this every single day when I draw. I'm very excited about it. And I hope that you will be too. If you have any more questions, certainly feel free to leave me a comment. Ask those questions. And if you get one of these tablets and you do some drawing yourself, post the results in the comments. I'd love to see what you're able to do, and we can talk about it. We can collaborate on things. We can get excited about each other's artwork, and maybe I'll post some more things that I do later on in the future. For Dragon Bloggers, again, this is Raymond Stapleton. I appreciate your time and your attention. Have a wonderful evening and a great tomorrow. God bless.